A man is being physically hauled across a finish line by two handlers. His eyes are completely dull, his skin is an ashen gray, and he is barely shuffling his feet through the dirt. He is heavily hallucinating, barely able to stand, and currently surviving on a cocktail of warm brandy and a highly toxic rat poison called strychnine, actively being fed to him by his own medical team. For this performance, he's being awarded an Olympic gold medal, the final, surreal image of what remains the most dangerous race in modern history. To understand how it came to this, we must look at the setting. The 1904 Summer Olympics were run alongside the St. Louis World's Fair. The chief organizer of the Games, James Sullivan, decided to use the marathon for a pseudo-scientific experiment. He wanted to test the extreme limits of what he called purposeful dehydration. To conduct this test, Sullivan set up exactly one water well near the 12-mile mark. For the rest of the 24.85-mile race, runners would navigate unpaved country roads in 90-degree Fahrenheit heat with no hydration at all. Stepping up to this challenge was a starting lineup of 32 incredibly diverse and mostly amateur competitors. Take Felix Carvajal. He was a 5'1" Cuban mailman who lost his money gambling in New Orleans and had to hitchhike to the race. He arrived wearing heavy street shoes, a flat cap, a dress shirt, and trousers he hastily cut around the knees to look like shorts. Beside him stood Len Tanye, a South African Boer War veteran and one of the first Black Africans to ever compete in the Olympics. They were joined by Fred Lords, a bricklayer who trained at night, and Thomas Hicks, an experienced marathoner and the heavy favorite. Between the brutal environmental conditions and the heavily inexperienced roster, this race was less a test of athletic skill and more an unregulated survival challenge. The race began at 3 p.m., the hottest part of the day. Race officials drove motor cars directly ahead of and behind the runners. On the dry dirt roads, these cars kicked up massive, blinding clouds of dust that the athletes were forced to breathe. This produced the first major casualty. American runner William Garcia inhaled so much dust that it severely damaged his stomach lining. He was found lying completely unconscious on the road, nearly bleeding to death internally. Meanwhile, around the 9-mile mark, Fred Lords suffered severe cramps. Instead of resting, he hopped into one of the passing spectator cars and happily waved at the struggling runners as he drove past them. With no modern course regulations to keep the route clear or monitor the athletes, the event instantly became a chaotic mix of life-threatening injuries and blatant cheating. The individual obstacles only got weirder. Len Tanyane was making good time until an angry stray wild dog chased him a full mile off the official course. Incredibly, he still managed to finish in 9th place. Felix Carvajal, running in his heavy street shoes, kept pausing to chat with the crowd. At one point, he asked spectators in a car for some peaches. When they said no, he simply snatched the fruit from them and kept running. Later, Carvajal spotted an orchard and stopped to snack on some apples. The apples turned out to be rotten, giving him severe stomach cramps. His solution was to take a literal nap by the side of the road. Despite sleeping mid-race, he woke up and rallied to finish 4th. Up ahead, Fred Lords' leisurely car ride came to an end when his vehicle broke down at the 19-mile mark. Lords got out, jogged the rest of the way into the stadium, and crossed the finish line first in just over 3 hours. The crowd erupted in cheers. Alice Roosevelt, the daughter of the sitting U.S. president, placed a wreath on Lords' head and was moments away from handing him the gold medal when a spectator finally called him out for riding in a car. Lords smiled and brushed it off as a practical joke. While he avoided a lifetime ban, his prank highlighted the total lack of integrity in an event where actual runners were still fighting for their lives out in the heat. Back on the course, the original favorite, Thomas Hicks, was severely dehydrated. 10 miles from the finish, he begged his support team to let him lie down. His handlers refused to give him water. Instead, they fed him a mixture of raw egg whites, French brandy, and strychnine. In 1904, doctors mistakenly believed that small doses of strychnine, a highly toxic chemical used to kill rats, would act as a stimulant for the nervous system, forcing Hicks's exhausted muscles to keep firing. The poison caused Hicks to hallucinate. Over the final mile, he believed the finish line was still 20 miles away. When he finally reached the stadium, his team literally carried him in the air over the finish line, while he weakly shuffled his stiff legs. Hicks survived, lost 8 pounds during the race, and was officially awarded the gold medal. By using chemicals to force a result his body couldn't achieve alone, Hicks's team created the first recorded instance of performance-enhancing drug use in the modern games. Looking at this chart of the starting roster, you can see the true physical toll of the race. Out of 32 competitors who started, only 14 actually finished. It remains the worst finishing ratio in Olympic marathon history. The athletic community was horrified. The press labeled the marathon a man-killing event, and the International Olympic Committee faced calls to ban the race from future games entirely. The backlash forced a total reassessment of athlete safety. By the next games in 1908, organizers moved the marathon to closed courses and established the hydration and anti-doping standards that would eventually define the modern sport. History is often stranger than fiction. Follow Oops History for more interesting history stories and fascinating content from the past.